you should have 30 minutes to work on the back side of your performance task paper as well. Here you're going to look at something called a gnomon, Gnomon. Again, my first hint to you here is to read the directions thoroughly, carefully, and then read the questions carefully. I'm going to give you a few hints, but I'm not going to lead you through every single detail. So read carefully. Pause the video until you've read, then I'll give you a hint for number 1. So my first hint for number 1 is to again mark your diagram. All right, you can't do this in your head. You need to look at a drawing and mark on the diagram. So it tells us that these two shapes, EBFG and BADC, follow the letters, are both parallelograms. How can we prove angle BFG? So angle BFG is this angle right here, is congruent to angle EAD. So EAD is this angle right here. So it's asking us to prove that those are the same. It's going to take a couple of steps. You can't just give me one definition that they're the same. You're going to have to use the properties of parallelograms. I would say over here start with the angle at F. Tell me what this angle over here at F is equal to. What is BFG equal to using a property you learned today? Then you can use another property to get you to angle A. So you're going to make at least 2 sentences that say, I know, tell me what you know, because you have to justify it. It's probably going to take 2, maybe even 3 of those. As a hint, you're going to have to use the properties of a parallelogram, but you're also going to have to use parallel lines. Okay? So that's my hint for number 1. Try that out for a few minutes. Then when you're ready to move on to number 2, I'll give you a hint there. Pause the video until you're ready for number 2. All right, number 2. Again, mark your diagram. They're telling us angle G is equal to angle D. So angle G is equal to angle D. We again need to work our way from G to D. We can't just connect them instantly. You have to use properties to work your way from G to a few other places in the diagram, then to angle D. There's more than one way to do this. Again, you're going to use properties of parallelograms and possibly properties of parallel lines. There's many ways to do this. Again, you're going to be using the I know because sentences to connect G all the way to D. Good luck. Pause the video when you're ready for hint 2. Play the video again. All right, number 3. So suppose F is the midpoint of A and B. If the area of the gnomon is 15, what would the whole area of ABCD be? So my hint here is to draw a few more shapes and connect a few more lines. All right, remember, read the directions for what a gnomon is. And then I think if you extend that line and extend this line, that will help you find the areas. Make sure you show your work on that one and read the directions carefully. But that one shouldn't be too bad for number 3. Try that one out, pause the video, and then come back for number 4. All right, number 4. Once again, assume F and E are midpoints. Explain how we know G is the midpoint of diagonal BD. Again, you need to mark your diagram, okay? So, how do we know that G is the midpoint of this diagonal? Okay, so again, I would recommend think about all the shapes that are here. I would use in my definitions or in my justifications some shapes that are congruent here. How do you know some of these shapes are congruent? Then you can somehow tell me that this diagonal G is the middle of this diagonal, that G bisects the diagonal. Try to use a logical argument that uses some I know because statements. Good luck. All right, number 5, the last one. This one is just kind of fun to do. Do some drawing if you've made it this far. So, what would a gnomon of a gnomon look like? So, remember, you're just cutting out a similar shape. So, a gnomon, remember, looks something like this. There's the gnomon, I believe. I think this is more diagonal, isn't it? There we go. What if you cut out a shape that looks like this out of that shape again? So cut a shape like this out of this gnomon shape. You're cutting out a similar. Just try that out. That one's more just for fun if you've made it this far. Again, you are turning this in at the end. Good luck.